suddenly now I have this book coming out that says to people that I know all about this subject, kindness and mitzvahs, and I'm an expert in it, which I didn't really feel like I was one. And so I worried a little bit, who is going to care that I threw change into the coin canister? Right? Who's going to care about that? Who's going to care that I gave a ticket away to a lecture that I couldn't attend? And who's going to care, really, about a roll of toilet paper? Why am I even talking about that? When I was working on the Mitzvah project, I threw change into the coin canister at the grocery store. How many of you do that? Anybody do that? Teach your kids. It's really easy, those little coin canisters. If you all don't have your hands up, it's something you can do really easy the next time you're at the grocery store. In Portland, in the metro area, that charity is usually the Meals on Wheels program. And so I called them and I said, how much money do you raise from quarters and dimes and nickels that people drop in at the grocery store? They raised $20,000 in quarters and dimes and nickels at their 39 collection sites around the city. So does your change make a difference? Absolutely. And I asked them, does that make a difference in your bottom line for your organization? And they said that feeds their 1,000 homebound seniors for an entire day of service. So it adds up. When I was working on the Mitzvah project, I was so excited because I was part of a networking group of professional women, and they always would go to the Voices lecture series. I don't know how many of you might know about that. Maybe even some of you are going tomorrow night to the Voices lecture series. And I was so excited because this year I finally purchased the pack to go myself for the season. And in April, I realized I couldn't use one of the tickets because it was falling on the first night of Passover. It's an important Jewish holiday. So I stood up at my networking event and I said, hey, does anybody want to buy my ticket? I can't go and I'd love to, sell it to someone. And I was really hoping I'd get the $50 back. But I had a colleague come up to me and she said, Linda, would you consider maybe doing a mitzvah and giving your ticket to my friend? She just came through chemotherapy. It's been a really hard year for her, and I know she would love to go to this lecture series. And my first thought was not yes. My first thought was, I really wanted that $50 back. Luckily, my second thought was, wow, this amazing group of women, these women were with me when my dad died, and many of them cooked meals for me. They came and visited me. They held my hand through this very difficult experience that many of them had already gone through themselves. Yes, I will give my ticket to you. Did I change the world with that action? No. Did I make a difference to that one woman and a stranger that I never met? Yes. Now, toilet paper. I had to ask permission if it was okay to tell this story, and I was told it was okay. I was in Spain. My husband was traveling for work, and I accompanied him, and we were at a lovely restaurant, cozy little tapas restaurant one evening, and I excused myself and went to the ladies' room. And I arrived there, and there was no toilet paper. Now, some of us know that is quite a predicament to be in when you get into that situation. So I scrounged around under the sink, and I found a roll of toilet paper, changed the roll of toilet paper. And as I'm walking back to my table, I say, honey, I don't know if this should count as a mitzvah, but I changed the roll of toilet paper. Should we count that? And he says, yeah, I think you should, because that is absolutely an act of kindness. And yeah, it's a little simple thing, but it helps somebody else so that they're not in that predicament. So we counted it. And of course, I have this book coming out, and now I'm worried because I didn't put all 1,000 mitzvahs in the book. There are about 90 mitzvahs. We chose ones, the editor and I, that we thought would be good and would have a nice message. But we chose this toilet paper one. And now I'm worried that some rabbi is going to call me and say, by the way, this is not an official mitzvah, Linda. But it turned out that being able to go on radio and talk on television and have them ask me this question about toilet paper, because you always prep the shows you're going on, you send them your book, and you send the questions that you'd like them to ask you. So ask me about toilet paper. It allowed us to have a really fun dialogue about how simple an act of kindness I'm really talking about, something that nobody sees and that happens completely anonymously, in the bathroom. And so it ended up being this wonderful little reminder about how the simple things really do make a difference. And the first time I had a friend call me and say, I changed a roll of toilet paper, Linda, and I thought about you. Okay, so if you're ever in that position, just remember to change the roll.